Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Gimp MC. Today I was going to do a little bit of a tutorial on how I do some of the stuff I do in Gimp. Now, some of you have already highlighted that it doesn't take very much skill to do what I do in Gimp. I just happen to find some of the right people to do it with. So I'm going to go over first a very easy way to do it, and then second a more challenging, but it ends up being more believable. So first you're going to open Minecraft. It doesn't really matter what texture pack we're using unless you have a texture pack that really modifies the text and what you're doing with. So you're going to take a screenshot of you typing in the text or in the chat. We're going to open that up real quick, and then what we're going to do is we're going to drop that into Gimp. Gimp is preferred for this kind of pixel editing because it has some of the tools I like, but if you do not have Gimp, you can find some other programs, but I'll leave Gimp is free. I'll just leave the link in the description if you guys need it. So we opened it up. Now the two tools that you're mainly going to use are your eyedrop tool and your pencil tool. Now we're going to zoom in a little bit to where your level is. Sometimes you got to move the boxes over a little bit. So here we have the 55. Now what we want to do is we want to make the 55 disappear. So let's pick the color that is behind the 55. So this color right here. And this color for all you HTML users is 31303 lowercase b. And now after we pick that color, we can get our pencil out, adjust the size of it right here to about, I like to do 4, and then move it, make sure to not go over the edge. Alright, now that it's gone, we're going to replace the level with something we want it to be. So, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to choose something. I'm going to choose, let's see, 64. Now, it's easy if you already have the numbers in the chat box, like I do here. But if you don't, you're going to have to type it into chat, otherwise you'd have to do it by hand, which takes a little bit. So I'm going to copy, paste it right on top of it, and then move the 6 down here. Alright. Well, I said 64. Okay, then I'm going to take this 4 here, copy, paste it, move it right down here next to this. Make sure to line it up where the other one is too, so we don't want it to be different from the others. Go into layers here. We don't want this floating selection here because then we wouldn't be able to edit it individually. We would have to edit it in this layer, which we don't want to do. So we're going to right click it, new layer from visible. Delete the floating selection, visible, merge down. Now we have one layer with everything on it. Now one thing we cannot forget is the shading. This makes it really pop, make it look like it's a real, what's happening here? Make it look very, very real. So sometimes you can select the entire thing, but sometimes it doesn't want to do it, so you gotta just do it manually real quick. Make sure to always line it up the way they have it lined up with the 6 too, if you're doing a 6, or if you're doing a 1 or something. You always have to line it up the way they have it lined up. That way, it is more believable if someone decides to look more closely at it, which doesn't often happen. So I'm gonna move it down there. Where is this one? Right under here. Right there, right there. Alright. Now what we want to do is edit the colors. This is really helpful if you already have the color you want to go with in the chat box. So I'm going to go with just plain, I'm gonna go with light blue. Now if you guys want to make this more believable, you're going to want to create it in a color that is the most commonly used on Mineplex. So like an orange, a blue, or a gray if you're trying to convince someone that they're a lower level, which I've done before. Yeah, so I'm going to go with blue just for the sake of fun. The blue like this ultra. We're going to do this. Color fill. Alright. Now what we're going to do for the shading. The shading has to be nearly the same color except a lot darker. Open our little color dialog right here till it's nearly the same color as the background. So this looks to be a little bit too light, so I'm going to edit it a lot darker. We don't want it to show up too much, because then we'll think something. This is starting to look pretty good. Or we could have just sampled this color right here and then put it right there. which was just slightly darker than what I had preset. Okay, so that's a quick tutorial on how to do it in a normal background, which people might pick up because it's just a normal background. You can change it pretty easily. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to do it with a harder background. Alright, so we're back into Minecraft. Now, let's say someone catches on, they said, oh, you have the background as the sky, it's really easy to manipulate it. So, you want to prove them wrong again. What you want to do is make sure the chat box is in a semi more busy, but at the same time you don't want it to be more busy background. See on the left hand side where the chat box is, I'm going to make it like a grass type thing. Alright, type in the chat. Oop, spelled type wrong, but you know, they would have got me for saying the same message again. Okay, we're going to open up that picture. Where is it? Like I said, you want it to be in a semi-busier background, because if it's in a very, very busy background, you're going to have a hard time doing it in the amount of time that they want, which would end not very good if they figure you out. So, what we got to do is use your estimate, unless you actually use your estimating skills, unless they actually know what the background is on certain things. So I'm gonna go right around here. We're doing the same thing like what we were doing before. Oops. Alright. Brush size down to 1. Get the eye drop to this light color here. Has sort of a sharp edge on these things over here, so kind of make it a sharper edge right here. I'd say that looks pretty good. Pretty believable. Okay, now we're just going to do the same process as we did last time. We're basically going to select a level, paste it, go all the way down here. Let's say I want to be level 36. Make sure it's in the right orientation so you don't confuse everyone. Grab the shading. Don't forget the shading. It looks really thin if you forget it. Oops, I'm on the wrong level here. Let me do the 3 first. Alright, so at this point, remember we're going to want to change the color. Let's say I wanted to go with the actual color it is, so I'm going to select the color of blue. Get the bucket right up here, fill that in, select this color here. Can't do that. And you can use keyboard hotkeys if you already have these preset. And then, bam. Zoom out and then see how it looks with the background in there. And I'd say it looks pretty good. So that is how you do it with a simple background like sky, and this is actually a simple background like grass too. But if you want to use a more complicated background, it's the same process, except it just takes more time with the colorization and all that stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Please sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.